What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we wanted to give you 10 exercises we love to do for deceleration. So deceleration, super important for athletes. It's pretty much the foundation for a lot of which is built upon it, right? A lot of change of direction. You have to decelerate before you can re-accelerate. That's fundamental for most sports. Coming to a stop, right? Going into a sprint to a jump, we need deceleration there. Injury prevention, strength, lots of things. So we're showing you 10 exercises we love to do. Hopefully you enjoy. If you do, please give a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. We post new videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays, so make sure you're subscribed to catch all of them. Hope you enjoy. All right, so number one, pretty basic when you think about it, right? We don't need any equipment, but this one's challenging for a lot of people. So all we're gonna do is just take some steps into a decel. So I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna step, and then I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna reset, take some steps, and then just stop. So the key here is being able to get down into this position, squeeze your glutes, chest down, right? We don't wanna decelerate like this. We wanna be locked in here, core stays tight, but being able to just stop and not let your momentum carry you forward, not lose your balance going sideways, but just be here and be sturdy. Number two, we have some different types of jumps. So first things first, we're going to broad jump. So we're gonna start here, where all we do is jump forward, but then we stick the landing. So I really like doing this stuff for deceleration because you have to stop your momentum going forward. And a big part of deceleration is just being able to control your momentum. So we're here, we got that double leg. We can also go single leg, being able to stop. We can go split stance as well. So I can start double and I jump into this. I really love that progression for doing deceleration stuff, because most of the time when we decelerate, we're in a split anyways. So building upon that, also a lateral jump is really important. So we just here, just jump to the side. When it comes to lateral jumps, our momentum's trying to take us this way if we're jumping this way, for example. So being able to land sturdy, not let your momentum carry you, not roll up like this is very important. So we can also go single leg, we come this way. Obviously you can go back this way. Once again, we can go split stance as well. Here, land here, take off, sprint right farther down in progressions, but being able to control momentum. And when we jump into it, right, it's speed into it, it's some force into it. So I love being able to control these things to work on it. Number three, a progression to the decel step is gonna be a kettlebell decel step. I'm sure you have seen us do this numerous times. We're gonna hold it offset. So I'll hold it in my right, my left leg's working. I'm gonna take a big step, lean into it, and then stop. Reset, core stays tight. Here, stick it. So by adding the kettlebell, it adds load. So as I'm coming forward, I have to work to stop that momentum even more. It's also trying to pull me down on this side. So I need stability, trunk control to not let it take me down. So I really like this one. You'll notice too, I'm not just stepping here. I'm getting a big push. So I'm also having to kind of fall into it and be able to stick it hard. You'll notice you don't see me sinking down to decelerate. We're training the ability to stick it hard here in our proper explosive angles, right? So if I stick it here, this is the angle, boom, that I can get out and sprint with. So we need to make sure we can absorb the landing, withstand the force in angles that will help us explode later. Number four, we're going another version of decel steps, but off a box this time. So similarly to the kettlebell, falling from height is going to add more speed into the movement and more force into the movement. So I'm gonna step here, I'm gonna push off a little bit, and then I'm gonna be able to decelerate. So we're gonna hit each leg with it. I don't remember which leg I just did, but we're here. Oh, Jesus, almost got sniped. My heart skipped a beat there. So, we're here, being able to decelerate, control your momentum. Same thing we've been talking about this entire time. This is just another variation. We're just getting in all of our decel steps right now. We're going a sprint to a decel. So this one might be the hardest out of any of these exercises if you do this correctly. And by that, I mean if you actually sprint. So it's not a jog into a decel, right? That can be a progression or a warm up, a full on sprint. So you're going 100% intent, stopping. I like to make a stopping point. Obviously, as your athletes progress or as you progress and you get better, you can make your deceleration distance shorter and shorter each time. When you first start, you can make it a little bit big, so you can allow yourself, I don't know, let's say 1.5 yards to decelerate, 2 yards to decel. As you get better, let's say you go 1 yard to decel, things like that to make it more difficult. But as you take your speed in, as we've been saying, your momentum's gonna be taking you forward. You need to be strong and stable. If you're too tall, it's gonna be hard. If you're too low, it's just, don't do that. So sprint into a decel. One thing to make sure you're switching feet when you're decelling. A lot of our athletes, they'll just try to hit the same foot every single time. And we have to tell them, hey, make sure you switch it up. You gotta be good, proficient at both. I've already lost track what number we're on. So next up, we're going some cable decels. So we're gonna be here. I like to start with one foot in front, like so. I'm gonna step forward with this leg, decelerate. So obviously that cable is trying to pull me, you can see that. So I'm here and I have to control that, right? It's trying to take me here. I do not want that to happen. I need to be strong, stable, squeeze your glute, keep your core tight, be able to just stop like that. Once that's pretty easy for you, you can add some extra steps. So make sure I'm far out enough. We're gonna be here, step, step, extra momentum, right? Taking you that way, extra force trying to pull you this way. Be really strong and sturdy. I'm having to really lock in. Make sure your form's good though, right? You don't wanna be trying to decel like this, just trying to counteract that pull by leaning. Allow it to take you and allow yourself to have that strength to be able to withstand it. Another one I love is going to be some crossover lunges. So honestly, anything working in the frontal plane is gonna be great when we're talking about that like side to side lateral deceleration, which is important for change of direction stuff. Obviously I love like a good old lateral lunge, but we're crossing over and then we're gonna push back. So we have to be strong in this position, momentum, right? I'm trying to go this way, being strong throughout here, that lateral side. Obviously we can switch sides as well, being able to push back. So I kind of fall into it a little bit. We can do this with load as well, but I love that option. And one thing I forgot to mention with the broad jumps and the lateral jumps is it's also important to make sure you can eventually be able to control rotational jumps. You see us do a whole bunch of rotational jumps, but even if it's something like jumping from here to here, just that really small rotation to control. We could even stay on the same leg, just here to here and back. So hit those basic things and it's really gonna help your deceleration. We have 2 exercises here, but I'm kind of pinning them together as one, labeled front barbell exercises. So first exercise, we're doing a front loaded lunge. So we're gonna be here. Okay, we're going front loaded. The reason for that, I like having the load in the front as I'm working on deceleration because it also requires you to control your torso a lot. So I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna lunge forward, lunge down, push back. Nothing fancy, but having that forward lunge requires me to stop going forward, right? I'm not traveling that way. I'm hitting it hard, I'm staying upright, and I'm pushing myself back. So that's the first exercise. The second exercise, part of the front loaded umbrella, is a front squat. I've been doing these a lot more recently with our athletes. So we're here, you can hold it, any way that's good for you. And we're just hitting that squat. The reason I like these is because it puts a lot of focus on the anterior side of our body. So obviously it's all your legs, but when we have that load up here, it's really focusing on this to control. So I love doing this, especially if we're working right before the season when we need everything to be very sharp. Final 2 exercises involve the resistance band. So we're saving the best for last because these are the most fun. Ideally, you would have a partner or someone to pull you. So what we're gonna do, you've seen us do this before, I believe. Spencer's gonna be back a little bit. I'm gonna broad jump towards him. As I'm jumping, he's gonna pull. So adding extra oomph to my jump. I'm gonna have to decelerate, right? Not let my body travel forward. So you can see we do double leg. I also like doing split stand, so landing in a split. So I'm here, being able to land like this. We'll go other leg. Something like that, really having to stop yourself. So I love this version. And then we can also go lateral. So I'm gonna be this way, Spencer's gonna be pulling me this way. Same thing as we talked about earlier with the lateral jumps, or you wanna make sure you can stop your momentum. This one's very important. Watch your knees as well. Don't land so far to where your knees come in. Make sure we're stable, feet under, and we can just lower and control. Final exercise, a little bit of a regression, however, still one of my favorites, is we're just going some steps, decel steps with the resistance band. So it's more challenging than just our regular one because we have someone pulling. And one thing that I also love about this is since it's pulling at my waist, it's trying to get my hips to travel forward, which is going to try to throw you off even more. So if you can control your hips, control your pelvis, that is going to be wonderful for your athletic development. So I'm going to be here. Spencer's really going to pull me. I'm going to come forward and be able to stop. Right, you can even see sometimes I'm like lifting up a little bit. You're really going to have to hold yourself back. So hopefully you guys enjoy these. Remember, deceleration is super important for foundational stuff, injury prevention too. Like if Spence and I are like both going for the ball and I give him a little shove in the back, right? You gotta be able to control yourself. If we're going up for a header, I knock him down, being able to slow down your body control. So hopefully you enjoy. Please subscribe. Please give the video a thumbs up. Comment down below. We will catch you on the flip side.